Hi guys, sorry for being a day late with today's episode of Gotham reviewing for season 2, but yesterday I did my season 2A review for Rise of the Villains, so I am now today going to be doing my episode 12 review. So yeah, just a quick spoiler alert as always guys. I don't think there's much spoiling backwards into season 2A. There's a little bit, but not a lot. So yeah, basically just a spoiler alert for last night's episode. So yeah, hope you enjoy this week's episode. So let's start off with the title of the episode then. So this week's episode, season 2, episode 12, was titled Mr. Freeze. Now the title itself is very self-explanatory, as Mr. Freeze was the main villain this week. My 5 words or under is, I've only got 3 words, and it's 3 words, a slower introduction. That's a slower introduction. Because I felt like it was a little bit, I don't know, there was a little bit of a different, it was a bit different to kind of the introduction to 2A, in that 2A felt like they were just carrying on the story, whereas 2B seemed to skip a little bit. Introduction wise, and I felt like they could have been a bit faster in terms of the introduction. So let's move on to our first character then, Jim Gordon. Now it wasn't really a brilliant episode for him. I didn't feel like there was any character development at all. I feel like there was kind of nothing in the way of character development, which they could have included a bit of it. The charges were dropped against him for killing Galavan, which is good. The fact that he kind of found out what Mr. Freeze is doing and why he's doing it is quite good as well, because I feel like it will allow him to kind of, if he's on top of the villains, it means that he can kind of control Gotham City in a way and kind of free it from these villains that just keep rising and kind of the wrath of the villains is very now. And he's kind of now suspicious of Enigma, so obviously like Leslie, he's suspicious of him, which is quite interesting to see the two of them finally agreeing on something. Over the past few weeks they've been a little bit like, a bit off of each other. So on to Harvey Bullock then. Again, it wasn't a brilliant episode for him. He upset Enigma, which was quite funny to watch. Although I just feel like he hasn't really got enough to do still. Like, he just needs more in terms of character moments, in terms of events that he can just take part in on his own. But I know he's kind of a secondary character there to support Jim Gordon in his rise through the GCPD and the ranks of the GCPD, but it's kind of, to me, it just doesn't feel right. I don't know if anyone else is feeling like this, but I just feel like I need more from him. And also, Captain Nathaniel Barnes as well wasn't in it a lot last night. I feel like he doesn't trust Gordon anymore, and I'm wondering whether he knows that Gordon killed Theo Galavan last week, or it was supposed to be like 4 weeks afterwards. It's about another month or something. Like, they skipped episode 1 of season 2. They skipped a month, so I'm wondering if they skipped the same amount because it was just a bit way of moving it on. But I'm wondering if he does know. Leslie Tompkins. Well, she was in it for one scene, so she wasn't really relevant this week. But she is now Jim's fiance, which is quite good. So I mean, she did accept the marriage proposal, which is quite good because it means we'll see them married maybe next season in season 3. Also adding to it this week is Harvey Dent. Now, he was in it a little bit to question Gordon, but I don't think he really believes his story about kind of penguin killing Theo. I think he's got his suspicions of Gordon, which is quite good because now the good guys are kind of turning against each other, which will be quite interesting to see further down the line when we start seeing Harvey turn into the persona that will become Two-Face eventually, which will be quite good. Hopefully they'll do a bit more development on that over the next couple of episodes or something, or the next season or something, I don't know. And also, finally then, before we move on to our little villainy section, Lucius Fox turned up again last night. He was helping Gordon and Bullock a bit with their investigation, which was quite good because it meant we kind of got a sciencey side to things with him, because I think he's kind of like, they were talking about liquid, it wasn't liquid nitrogen, I can't remember what they were talking about, liquid helium or something like that, that kind of cools down really quickly, and the only company really in Gotham that makes it is Wayne Enterprises, which meant that they had to go to speak to Lucius Fox. So let's move on to the villains then. So Selina Kyle, she was only in it to kind of spy on Butch, but we only saw her for about a few seconds, so she wasn't really necessary, and I feel like we just need more from her, because she's been doing so well. Like, they did really well with her in Season 2A. She came on such a lot in the terms of the character, so I'm hoping we see a bit more from her next week and throughout the coming episodes. Butch Gilzean was back last night. Now, he was only in it for one scene. He appears to me to be the new King of Gotham. He's in Penguin's old kind of castle-y or whatever it is. I don't really know what it is, but he was sitting on Penguin's throne last night. He killed someone with his drill attachment on his hand, which was quite a disgusting way to die. Now, I don't really know whether he's working with Tabitha now or not. That's a bit weird, because Tabitha kind of turned up as well. In fact, I might include her here as well. So Tabitha Galavan. She kind of turned up out of the blue to work with Butch, we assume, so we don't really know why. I'm wondering if she's going to kind of get into his good books and then kill him off so she can be Queen of Gotham. Because I don't really trust her with her. As much as I distrusted Theo, I distrust her even more, I think, because she's quite a mysterious prowess. She's got a mysterious prowess about her, which is a bit weird. So, Penguin. Now, he backed up Jim's story. But he has been admitted to Arkham Asylum, which is quite interesting. He's not happy about that fact. And he tried to kind of take over, but was put in his place by the other prisoners, leading him to meet Hugo Strange, or Dr. Hugo Strange, should I say. And I want to know what will happen next with his storyline. It's quite interesting, kind of the Arkham storylines. I love them. Which leads me on naturally to Dr. Hugo Strange now. He is very odd. I'm really not sure if I like him yet or not. And he seems to be running both kind of Arkham Asylum and Indian Hill at the moment. He seems to be chief psychiatrist at Arkham Asylum, but he also went down to Indian Hill last night, and it seemed to me like he was running the place, which is a bit weird. So on to the Riddler. He was in it a little bit again. He got angry at Harvey, and I thought it was funny when the body unfroze. Because basically one of the bodies was on his kind of medical examination table, his forensics table, and he went out to do whatever, and he came back and the body had unfrozen, and basically the bloke had walked off, and it was quite funny because he just couldn't work out what had happened. He was looking around for this body trying to find it, and it was just funny. I made me laugh. And finally then, Mr. Freeze, our main villain. So he brought kind of the havoc back into Gotham once more, which is good because we like having a bit of havoc in Gotham. That's kind of the whole premise that we've got used to. The freeze ray, for me was a little bit unrealistic, so it was a bit disappointing because I kind of expected something a bit more realistic from that. But then I think the effects budget on last episode went on the body melting after Freeze tried to reverse the freezing process on one of his victims. And it kind of drew on the storyline from the comics where Vera, his wife, is ill. Not Vera, Nora even, his wife is ill. And it's kind of him trying to save her, which is quite good. I quite like that. So the absence of Bruce and Alfred was a bit odd because considering Bruce has been central to the last few episodes, I feel like he's been making really good progress on his road to becoming Batman. They just kind of scrapped in this episode, which is a bit sad. So I'm hoping they're back next week as well. So my overall conclusion then, it was a good episode to start Wrath of the Villains with, but not kind of a huge amount of villainy. Given that it's called Wrath of the Villains, I was expecting kind of all the villains to start getting revenge now, but I didn't really feel like there was enough revenge for me to feel like this villainy is the villains are unleashing their wrath on Gotham at the moment. It felt to me very season 1-ish. Actually, the episode over as a whole, it just felt like they hadn't really progressed any further than they had in the end of season 1. It felt very kind of like mid-season 1, which was a bit kind of draggy on, and it was like some of the episodes in mid-season 1 could have been done without really. And I feel like that's kind of what happened last night. I'm wondering if next week's episode might be the same, because there was 2 episodes in season 1 that wasn't really necessary, so I'm hoping they're not doing the same thing now. I'm just trying to fill in the gap before they get up to the main storyline leading up to season finale territory. So yeah, my overall rating as a result of that is only a 7 out of 10, which was exactly what Damned If You Do, the first episode, got of season 2. So yeah, I don't know, as I just said, it wasn't really kind of, it was really exciting, but at the same time it was kind of not as interesting as it should have been, given that it's kind of, we've reached past mid-season now. It should be getting really exciting, given that the climatic events of last week's episode. So yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe below. Any comments you want to leave on this video as well, please, I encourage all comments. Please post them, and I will, if you ask a question or if you give your opinion, I will reply with, I will make sure that I do my best to reply to all your comments. Yeah, just thank you for watching, guys. See you later. Bye.